Having understood the importance of timings of the meal in our daily routine, let's further go into the details of the right process of eating. This particular topic has been not stressed enough in the modern science, and after having read Ayurveda, I realized that this is one very important aspect of our daily routine which needs to be told, learnt, and practiced by each one of us. What is the thought process which we should be having while having the meal or before starting the meal? If you closely observe religions of the world, you'll find that in Hinduism, in Jainism, in Buddhism, in Islam, as well as Christianity, there is a particular prayer specified in our religious texts before we start the meal. For example, in Hinduism, we have a mantra mentioned in Atharvaved which goes like Om Brahmarpanam Brahma Havi Brahmnohutam Brahmevatena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina Om Sahnavatu Sahnau Bhunaktu Ya Viryam Karvavahe Ma Vidvishamahe. This particular mantra actually is a mantra with a very deep sense. It first of all looks at food from the perspective of God. Every grain which we are going to consume, every meal which we are going to consume is considered as pious as God itself. In the prayer, the person who is praying is actually comparing the food grains to God, and it says, Hail God, I am looking at you, taking a part of you, and giving it, offering it as a prayer to the body which has been made by you. I promise that the energy generated out of this complete food which I am eating will be for the purpose of goodness, and I'll be conscious of my deeds from the energy which is generated out of this food. I promise God that I'll be focusing all my senses while I'm eating on the food, thinking about its taste, thinking about smell, thinking about how I'm chewing the meal, and I promise that this energy will be utilized in the pious as well as rightful work. This particular mantra, and along with other meaningful prayers in other religions, tries to emphasize on the silencing of mind, focusing on one object, maybe a god for someone, maybe on the food for someone, but this particular intention is to silence the mind from all the other thoughts which are bothering, to take the mind away from all the other worries of the world and focus it directly on the meal. In his book of Ashtang Hridyam, the famous Ayurvedic scholar Vishnu Bhatt, he explains that Bhojan Gatah Manah Chittah, that is, while having the meal, one must focus its mind on the food with all his consciousness. The purpose of silencing the mind, focusing on the meal, and then starting the meal has got a very, very important, relevant science behind it. Moment you silence your mind, moment you focus on yourself on the meal, your mind and all its senses are totally aware that you're going to have meal. Accordingly, the sense organs work to produce the corresponding amount of saliva or digestive juices in your mouth so that the food gets digested 40% in your mouth, and it's diluted enough or chemically converted enough in that form in which it can be acted upon in the intestines. In the modern world, modern science, in the Western world, this particular terminology, this particular science has been used with the name of mindful eating. Mindful eating is a terminology which is given to people who have been advised to eat on the food consciously. Be aware of it from all the sense organs and focus on the meal. While focusing on the meal, here comes the another important part which we should always remember. In traditional Ayurveda, we are advised at many places to chew every meal, every morsel 32 times so that it converts totally into liquid. The purpose can be two different ways of looking at it. Firstly, since we have got an adult grown-up man has got 32 teeth, so the emphasis has to be that the food which we are eating has to be chewed upon by all the 32 teeth, and also divert the mind from all other worries towards counting of how many times you're chewing the meal, and also looking at it from that perspective that by chewing so many times, your food will be totally converted into a liquid form before it is gulped down in the stomach. In Ayurveda, it explains that 40% of meal which you are eating has to be digested in the mouth by chewing and converting into liquid, by having acted upon by saliva, and then gulped down, then move down through the throat line into the stomach, so that the other juices, digestive juices, are able to act on it and convert it into pure energy. So from today, pray before the meal. Mantras can be anything, but if you're a Hindu, try and learn the mantra which I specified with its meaning deep inside you, and start the meal with that concept, that focus. And while chewing, just focus on converting the meal into liquid, and ask yourself whether your focus is on your tongue and teeth or it's going somewhere else. So this particular habit cannot be developed in just one day. So when you are conscious, when you're trying to move your mind and start focusing on your teeth and mouth, on your tongue, you'll find your mind wavering as if like a flame in a there, and your mind will be just moving around. Just leave all the other thoughts. Whenever you find your thoughts moving around, just get it back on the meal itself. Ask yourself how tasty the food is. Am I chewing it enough? Am I converting it into liquid? What are the ingredients? Am I feeling the taste of each and every ingredient which I am chewing? Just try it out and feel the difference. The same food which you are eating will be giving you almost double or triple amount of energy which you have been eating till now. Experience it, learn it, and then practice it, and pass it on to the generations and people around you. With this beautiful thought, happy healing and all the best to you.